Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're swatching the other half of my Cheater's Christmas manicure. This is Inch Toward the Light by Bee's Knees Lacquer. It is a sheer pea green base with a very shifty shimmer that moves through pink, orange, gold, green, and even into blue. I think this is a watery goth Christmas green, as if a Christmas tree was a watercolor. You'll be able to see in that first coat, it is quite sheer. I do think it gives a sick for several weeks sort of look in one coat. The base is looking a bit like a green olive. I could see myself using it in one coat to go with other very sheer colors, but I don't think I'd do a whole manicure with just one coat. It is pretty even, but I didn't get as much polish on my right corner, so I'll need to fix that in successive coats. In the LEDs, you are only seeing the pink and orange shifts. Those are the colors I thought would tie this into Avignon on my other hand, and I am happy with the shared element. My worry with this polish is that it has so many colors. That isn't necessarily evident right now. This polish might be difficult to skittle. I mean, I'm still going to try. What color you see is very dependent, and that can make it more difficult to use than a polish with just one or two shifts. It might take a couple of tries to figure out how to use this one. I was doing so well until my second coat. This is not my best work. I'm very thankful for cleanup brushes. The base does deepen in that second coat, and I do manage to cover that spot that I missed. I still think it looks a little olive here, and my theory is that the pink tones of my skin and nail beds are interacting with the green. I do very much like it in 2. I think this is the most saturation that I get. The third coat just gets me some extra opacity to disguise the nail. It didn't seem to change color from coat 2 to 3. I'm a little concerned that this looks like a polish I already have. I'm thinking of Eldron by Cupcake Polish. It's also a pea green jelly, so that will go on the comparison list with everything else. In the third coat, I think we get about 80% opacity. You can still see my nail line, but you do have to search for it below the shimmer. The jelly base still looks a bit olive here. You'll see in my other footage why I'm overall calling this a pea green. I think it is just a little more bright and not as brown in the full hand shots. This mainly reminds me of birds. The Nicobar's pigeon is very colorful and iridescent. You would probably need to pair it with a navy blue or a deep purple, or you could pick a bird with more warm tones. A hummingbird called the golden-bellied star frontlet comes to mind. They have an orange to golden back end that almost looks like fish scales, and a lovely iridescent green head and back. I took my sun shot in the morning, so the sun is basically over my shoulder and not above my head. I usually favor footage that I take closer to midday. However, that morning was the only day in the next 5 that I was supposed to have any sun at all, so I jumped to grab whatever I could. Sometimes I can't be picky because the opportunity just isn't there. Also, I tried to put my top coat on too soon on my thumb, and I did smudge it a bit. Ignore that, please. It's amazing how strong the shimmer is in this polish. It starts out as a blue into green, and as I lower my fingers, You can see that gold into orange into pink. The blue shows best in the sun. The blue is the hardest shift to catch. You won't see it often. In the shade, the golds are a little busier than they were before. The sky is showing a little bit in my nails, but there is also a blue shift. It's a bit hard to disentangle the two. I threw in a photo at the end to show the blue indoors, where the sky can't interfere. The medium particle shimmer is so glowy. I was expecting a bit of sheer swampy color, and I did get that, but it was also surprisingly neon. The other bird this polish reminds me of is the red-crested Turaco. He's probably a little more red than pink, but I'm going to claim him. They sort of look like toucans that have gotten their beaks stuck in a pencil sharpener, and they have an expression of permanent alarm. And to a lesser extent, the polish looks like a rainbow scarab beetle. Inside, the warmer tones of the shimmer show up more. There is still some bright green, but the gold, orange, and pink are now the main characters. We are getting a more multi-chrome look near the window, but as I move over to the left and the artificial light, it mutes the shimmer, and the pink and orange are less distinct. The shifts all blend a bit and give a setting sun sort of look. And we are back to the base, looking a little more olive. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Next time will be a proper Christmas polish. Please subscribe so that I can slowly but surely convert my dwelling into a giant gingerbread house and lure wandering stone ovens into my home, then force them to bake fruit pies for me. Please enjoy a clip of my gray squirrel who has grown white ear tufts to go with her winter coat.